I'm pretty sure we've reached the statute of limitations, but all my stories are illegal. Did you ever steal shit from that store?
I didn't.
No.
I mean, there was plenty of things that I've seen, but I didn't. I just usually like
plenty of
if I
things you've
need to
seen
use
by
a
who?
if I need to use a battery for like 10 minutes, I'd use
Sure.
a battery, but
yeah.
then that's about it.
Gotcha. No, we bro. Okay, well, you might have been
Moving on.
you might have been the only one who wasn't, because I'm pretty sure we all were. I would let my friends come in. I
was the good kid, man.
Yeah,
I was
so
behind the register, like, hey guys.
Listen. Here's the issue. I'm the good kid too. I always was and always have been. But when you have people in charge who were in charge, it doesn't. You can't, like, if I can't take you seriously, and if you tell me, hey, like, bro, okay, here's when I knew. I'll tell you when it started for me. This is when I started taking shit from them. Is when, I forget who was the manager at the time, but the whole time I worked there, maybe you were there, maybe you weren't for this. The whole time I worked there was a pair of 50 Cent, not money, the rapper, 50 Cent SMS by 50 headphones. He came out with his.
Remember those?
They were Beats by Dre, but by 50 Cent. He came out with his own headphones. We had one pair. They sat on the shelf for, I'm sure, years. They sat on the shelf because they were priced at like $299. They were like $300 headphones, like big poofy studio headphones. No one was gonna buy them. In the middle of York City, not in the middle of where we were. No one was buying those.
If it wasn't Dre,
no. And so I forget which manager told me to do it, but they said, hey, we got to like clear inventory. Corporate wants all this stuff gone. It's been here for too long. She took these headphones to the back. She bent them like on purpose, put them in a trash bag full of other stuff she took off the shelf and like on purpose broke so that we could then write it off, say it was damaged so that they could just write it off. You know what I mean? And she left and said me, hey, take all this trash out before you leave, because she was too good to take the trash out on her own. And I'm like, okay, cool. Open the bag back up, bend the headphones back. Bro, I used those headphones to DJ the first 5 years of Sparks Entertainment.
Hey,
they were
going to get thrown out anyway.
They were going to get, she was throwing them away. I bent them back. Thank God they didn't break. Like, and I was like, okay, I get it now. This is where, these are the games we're going to play. And if these are the games we're going to play, that means there's no consequences. So when I find out that those are the games we're going to play, I take it to the next level. Because if we're already on level 1, level 2 is not going to be any different. So this is where my next, James, listen, there's a level, A2C, I'm sorry, I keep calling you. I'll bleep it all out. I'll put a little ducks on it.
It's all good.
Listen,
it's all good.
If there's a level 3. Level 2, okay, is, and this takes a little bit of skill. Do you remember the quarterly inventory nights where we had to stay after closing?
You mean the hated inventory nights?
We had to stay after closing. God. We have to scan every product. The sheet says we have 5. Go scan 5.
Single. Oh my.
The sheet says
and that was back when we had to do that at the parts store too. That was back when they had the parts store.
Parts store. Everyone hated the parts store, and we always bullshitted the parts store. Whatever the sheet said is what was in the parts store that night. And we fudged it. We did 1 or 2 that were off, so it looked okay for corporate, but we didn't count that. No one ever counted that parts store. Not a single person. Not a single person. And if you did, I'm sorry. Maybe you deserved it. But so phase 2 of stealing from the company was keeping either a physical. Now, if you keep a physical list, that's evidence, and they could have popped you for that. I was a little smarter. I went 2.5 with it. I kept a mental list. You keep a mental list of what you take, and then next time you do inventory night, you make sure you're in charge of scanning those sections. So if I took a phone case, a few blank CD packs,
man.
and a radio player or whatever, I went directly to those spots. I looked at what the sheet told me. I knew there would be one missing. And so I just scanned an extra. Yep, we got 5 over here. And now I'm scot-free. And so
yeah, that's taken it to that's a whole new level right there.
Smart
though.
Let's not, listen, I can go into level 3 and 4. There's a level 3 and 4 of taking from that company. I'm probably part of the reason why they went bankrupt. I don't think I'm incriminating myself, maybe just my character. But listen, it's a satirical comedy podcast, so you can't really take anything I say anyways. Last week I said it'd be beneficial if Will Smith did come out as gay. He should go on every Kelly Clarkson, Oprah Winfrey interview talk show and just go on there with his gay partner and be like, yeah, I've been gay my whole life, fuck Jada, and just have his gay partner on there like, I love Will. He's doing so great. We've got movies lined up. We love each other. You know what I mean? So it's...
Hey, 2023, 2024.
That's right.
You never know. So send them off to the sky right there.
Phase 3, so level 3 of demising the company is I don't know if you remember this.
This is why RadioShack went bankrupt, folks.
I don't know if you remember this, but we ran promotions. We ran these special, super awesome RadioShack promotions to get as many people through the doors as we could in the late days of the company. And so what RadioShack did was, for every $50 you spent, the receipt machine would print out a $5 RadioShack gift card that you could then spend on your next purchase in store, whatever. The problem with that was two things. One, it was treated in the POS system as a gift card, which means there was no limit. There was no limit of number of how many of them you could use. You could obviously had $5, you used $5. That was it, $5 spent. And it didn't matter how that $50 was spent. And so 9 times out of 10, the people coming into our RadioShack were the people who were on the Boost Mobile $50 unlimited everything plan. And so they would come in, get their $50 Boost Mobile cards, and guess what? Our system automatically puts that on their plan so they don't need a receipt with a code on it. And then they check their phone. They have an automatic text message that says, you just got topped up by RadioShack. Your plan now expires in 30 days. They leave the store. They don't want that receipt. That's trash. That's garbage. So then I take the receipt that's got the $5 gift card on it. I now have a stack of 10 of them in one day. And so I went around the store. I got myself CD cases. I got phone cases. I got everything. And mind you, this is all on my employee discount. So everything's already 80% off for me. And so I just scanned gift card receipt after gift card receipt after gift card receipt. I think I ended up getting like $250 worth of stuff for like $3.
Oh, you just unlocked a very repressed memory. The freaking whole coupon gift card. Wow. I completely forgot about that.
My final level, my final Bowser battle, my Charizard evolution at the Shack, and I think this might have what put them out of business, is that year for Christmas. There was we had, it's you probably don't remember because it wasn't a popular item there and it probably never got sold. There was a Canon Rebel T3i DSLR camera that we had locked up in the cage in the back. And
that was probably past my time then.
And so it might not have been because it was there my whole time too. No one knew about it because no one came into RadioShack looking for a $500 DSLR camera, right? It was locked up. We didn't have a demo. We just had that one. It was on the highest shelf. No one ever looked at it except for me because I was the YouTuber at the time, right? Making magic videos, whatever.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know about the Canon Rebel series, they have two versions of each number. It's either the T3 or the T3i, T4, T4i. It's either the number or the number plus an I. The I is the upgraded model. It's the plus. It's got the flip out screen. It's got the HD video, whereas the number just has like standard definition recording, not too good. It's like the iPhone 15 versus the iPhone 15 Pro Max, right?
Okay.
So for Christmas that year, I'm like, Mom, I want to be serious about making videos. I want this camera, the Canon T3i. We have one at RadioShack. You could come in and just get it, and I could just take it home, whatever. Like, it'd be cool. It's here. It's in stock. And she's like, oh, we'll see. We'll see. Christmas comes around. And under the tree for me that year sits a brand new Canon Rebel T3.
Ooh, no eye.
And so I'm opening it up. I'm like, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe they just don't print the eye on the box. Maybe it's just to save money on something's obviously going wrong here. And so I open up the box, and sure enough, no flip out screen. No, none of the stuff that I need to film these HD. I want to be the best YouTuber ever. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fun. It's all right. And so, I take it to school. I use it for a week or two, whatever. And it's all right. It's okay, James. It's okay.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I just think, man, that T3i. So I thought, what would happen if no one who was ever going to buy the Canon T3i from RadioShack would just, So one day, no one was there, and I had the keys because I was the closer because they trusted me because I worked there for 2 years, and I opened up the cage, and I just swapped out the body, okay? So what is sitting in the box of the Canon T3i at the RadioShack that's no longer there, so it's fine. I'm off the hook, I guess. Is in fact the wrong camera body, and did that make someone's day really, really terrible one day that I don't know about? Maybe, but all I can hope is that no one did in fact buy that camera, and here we are. And so then that was great because I had a Canon T3i that my mom got me for Christmas.
That's a true level 4 story. Right there.
You got to
swap.
You got to start small. You got to start small, which is borrowing a battery every now and again. And then you got to progressively work your way up to fudging inventory numbers, to stealing customers' gift cards that they didn't even know about, to, just, it's fine. Listen, it's all a joke. I'm joking, of course. I didn't do any of that stuff. It's a joke, dude.